From million-dollar headlines to whispers of collapse, Meghan Markle's empire is under the brightest, harshest spotlight it's ever faced. In a matter of months, critics say the brand once sold as unstoppable has been hit by business stumbles, a Netflix reality check, online ridicule, and fresh royal drama that just won't die. Celebrity entrepreneurs are offering brutal advice on camera, commentators are calling out overreach, and social media is turning every misstep into a trending post. But here's the twist. Behind the glossy trailers and curated photos, there's a deeper story. How a carefully crafted image can start to crack when the audience smells inauthenticity. Tonight, we're pulling every thread. The deal changes, the brand backlash, the big-name commentary, the rumors they deny, and the narratives they won't touch. Is this a short-term PR storm, or the long, public unraveling of the Markle machine? Stay with me, because the most revealing details are the ones big outlets hint at, but never say out loud. Let's talk about how we got here and why the fallout keeps growing. Start at the surface. The business headlines. They look polished, renewed partnerships, fresh projects, glossy key art. But the tone of coverage has shifted. Instead of breathless praise, you're hearing phrases like too many ventures, brand overextension, and focus problem. When a high-profile entrepreneur publicly tells you to slow down, pick a lane, and stop trying to do everything at once, it lands. It lands because it confirms what audiences were already feeling. The product pipeline looks wide but thin. A lifestyle brand with a big reveal followed by silence. Teaser baskets to influencers, and a pretty logo without a clear story. Then a new show trailer that feels like the last show trailer. Aspirational visuals with very little you can actually hold on to. Here's the core business critique. When your brand is fundamentally personality-driven, the audience has to believe you. They have to feel like the camera is a window, not a mirror. The moment viewers think they're being handled, the magic falls apart. It's not that the products or shows are objectively bad, it's that they can read as derivative, like secondhand versions of icons who already own those lanes. And investors, partners, and platforms aren't sentimental. They're scoreboard people. They measure traction, relevance, completion rates, and renewals. So when opinion leaders start floating the word recalibrate, it's not just a clapback. It's a polite industry synonym for you're burning attention faster than you're earning trust. And trust is the only currency that scales a personality brand. Let's talk streaming, where promises are made in press releases and judged in watch time. The original Sussex-Netflix partnership was framed like a moonshot, a big-ticket multi-year deal with a pipeline of documentary, scripted, and lifestyle concepts. But the reality of streaming in 2025 is brutal. Platforms greenlight, test, and pivot at the speed of data. If a show overperforms, you hear about it immediately. If a show underperforms, you also hear about it, just with a different kind of headline. Critics say the renewed arrangement sounds more like a first-look lane than a blank check. That matters because first look means pitch us and we'll decide, not we're committed regardless. It's a signal that the platform wants proof of audience demand before spending platform-level money. And when the latest trailer drops and viewers comment, "Haven't we seen this already?" That's not just snark, it's feedback. Repetition is the enemy of retention. Another issue, the tone. Audiences are increasingly allergic to moralizing looks. If the story is be your best self, while the setting is palatial interiors and A-list cameos, you must deliver something raw, intimate, and genuinely new to overcome the distance. Without that, the show becomes a beautiful screensaver. Easy on the eyes, easy to skip. Here's the uncomfortable question the industry keeps raising. Did the brand build a pipeline of shows or a pipeline of trailers? Because in streaming, there's nowhere to hide. Completion curves, title heat, and season-over-season lift tell the truth. If the numbers flatten, platforms de-risk. And when platforms de-risk, talent must reinvent. That's the crossroads the Sussex content brand seems to be standing at. Prove the value or pivot the voice. Now to the lifestyle play, the crown jewel of personality empires. The pitch is simple. Sell a feeling, sell a standard, sell the version of you that your audience wants to live with in their own homes. The execution is complicated. Trademarks, supply chains, packaging, distribution, community, and a story that sparks habit, something fans return to weekly, not just at launch. What did viewers see? A gorgeous reveal, gift basket whispers, talk of jams, candles, kitchenware, and a signature aesthetic. Then, static. Instead of a consistent rhythm, product drops, content series, founder notes, behind-the-scenes craftsmanship, there were pauses long enough for critics to move in and shape the narrative themselves. The timeline gaps fueled a new frame. Pretty brand, unclear backbone. Online, the reaction split. Supporters said, "Let her build." Skeptics mocked the name, questioned the logo, and asked why a lifestyle label with limitless PR couldn't deliver a straightforward launch calendar. Once the internet locks onto a storyline, overpromise, underdeliver, every hiccup, every filing, every rumor of team turnover becomes Exhibit A. But here's the insight the hot takes miss. Lifestyle success is grind work. It needs a constant heartbeat, weekly community posts that feel unscripted, product drops that solve a real problem, founder commentary that isn't filtered into safe corporate speak. The brands that win do three things relentlessly: niche down, show the making, and make the buyer the hero. If Meghan's lifestyle line wants to flip the script, the playbook is there. Fewer SKUs, more ritual. Trade perfection for process. Build a kitchen table content cadence that feels like hanging out, not being pitched. And launch fewer, better products tied to specific moments. Breakfast ritual, Sunday reset, holiday hosting. So fans don't just buy a thing, they adopt a habit with your name on it. No modern public figure lives in a neutral zone. Every post is a referendum. For Meghan, the central tension is this: the brand voice aims for universal uplift, while the public conversation keeps demanding vulnerability receipts. When a figure is compared to Beyoncé, Michelle Obama, Martha Stewart, or Gwyneth Paltrow, it's not just a compliment or a swipe, it's a challenge. Those icons own distinct lanes built over decades of singular output. If your work samples each lane without planting a flag in one, critics call it cosplay. The internet's verdict is not purely fair, but it is consistent. People will forgive a misstep faster than they'll forgive a vibe they don't believe. And belief is earned by specificity. What does Meghan do that no one else can do? What stories can only she tell? What problems can only her brand solve? Until those answers feel obvious to casual viewers, not just fans, every new project invites the same skepticism. What is this, really? And then come the optics wars. Grand interiors read as distance, perfect frames read as control, carefully worded monologues read as messaging. If the goal is to reach an audience that feels left behind by glossy perfection, the move is radical humility on camera, messier kitchens, shorter edits, less polish, more substance. If the goal is to occupy the luxury inspiration seat, the move is radical excellence, best-in-class products, elite collaborators, and a ruthless standard. The middle, aspirational but vague, is where the internet eats brands alive. The takeaway: image isn't the enemy, undefined image is. The moment Meghan picks a lane and delivers a signature nobody can imitate, the tone of coverage changes from "who does she think she is?" to "okay, that was undeniable." Even miles from the palace, the crown is a character in every Sussex story. That's the reality of stepping out, but never really getting free. Any new project triggers three parallel conversations. What do the royals think? Is there a boundary being tested? And no matter how quiet the couple remains, are there trouble in paradise headlines incoming? Here's how the rumor economy works. A vague source plants a suggestion. A tabloid spins it into a headline. Aggregators pull the loudest sentence. Social media turns it into a meme. By the time the subject responds, or chooses not to, the narrative has hardened. With Meghan and Harry, that machine is permanently warmed up. Every seating chart, every absence, every cutaway shot becomes evidence of a larger theory. Add workplace chatter, former staffers with stories, commentators with sources, podcasts with incentives to provoke, and you've got a never-ending cycle. Personal rumor feeds public perception feeds brand resistance feeds harsher coverage. The couple's best counterpunch has always been controlled storytelling, but control has a cost. The more curated the reveal, the more audiences assume what's missing is the real story. So, how do you break a rumor loop without feeding it? You don't answer every headline. You create undeniable moments. Career-defining work recalibrates coverage. A documentary that lands so hard even critics lean in. A product that becomes a staple without the founder's face on it. A partnership that looks like alignment, not opportunism. In a rumor economy, the only antidote is results that rewrite the algorithm. Less speculation, more achievement. So clear and consistent that even the loudest voices have to switch from "is it cracking?" to "okay, something's working." So, where does this story go next? It depends on the next 3 choices. Pick a lane and own it. Deliver something nobody else can. And tell the truth on camera before the internet invents a worse one. Meghan Markle is either at the edge of a comeback that resets the conversation, or in the middle of a fatigue cycle that only ends when the work outshines the narrative. The critics, they'll keep talking. The rumor mill, it will keep spinning. But the audience is simpler than the headlines. Show them something real, repeat it with excellence, and they'll come back tomorrow. The next move is everything.